Good morning, good evening, good whatever is there in your country. Welcome to this video. What we're going to do in this video, we're going to learn this particular thing. Yeah, I'll just try to show you. This is called Andy and design, right? So if you see and design, right, this is the design library, right, which is used for, of course, designing web pages, that too in React. So by the way, this also comes for Vue.js and other, like this has a support for others as well, but primarily this has the best support for React.js. Like that's what it is officially made for. All the other variants are actually community made. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not official. That's all. So we'll be using this particular thing, and this is the crash course of ant design. I mean, I have already made a course, but I think that was not very much detailed enough. Right now, in this particular video, we'll be going very in depth about this particular thing, which is ant design. That's cool. So let's get started. First thing, what we'll do is we'll be creating a project, right? Okay. Will be by the way, there are a few things which we'll be understanding before that. uh, let's code. Let's go to desktop, right? And Alex,
Connecting to the network. Please try again a bit later.
can you please shut your mouth up, Alexa, for 5 minutes? Thank you. Okay, let Alexa shut down. Okay, now we'll be going to the desktop and we'll be creating a project over here. So we'll say I'm using yarn, so yarn create read, right? And we'll be naming some. Let's name our project something. So let's name it and the crash course, crash, something like that. Oh no. I've I messed things up. So and the crash. Okay, and we'll be selecting React from here, normal React. That will basically create the things. We'll be going to this folder and installing things up. That's how we set up our project. Now the first thing is how to install Andy in your project. The method is quite similar for create React app as well as Vite applications, so you don't need to worry if you're using something else, right? It's fine, it happens. Let me actually readjust my camera a bit. Yeah, so that has been installed. The next thing is you have to add and design. You can do npm I or npm install and d, or you in yarn you can do a yarn add and d, which will basically add and design to your project, which is quite awesome. What's the next thing? It has a lot of components. I just want to give you an idea about how many components it has. This has like, I don't know, 50 no, like a lot of components, right? We'll be going through most of them, not all of them, because there are a lot. Like it will take a very long time to cover all of them, but some of the very important components will be understanding how they works and how I think the building block of, like if you want to make your website using ant design, the building block would be layout property, which is over here, right? Then the grid. So if you know these two things, you can place things at the perfect place, right? And then I believe, yeah, these are the two very important things. Then we'll be learning about like other important components, right? Okay, so I think we have installed Andy. Now there's a very important thing which you have to do is you have to import the CSS file. So let's open this in Visual Studio Code first. Okay, this is my Visual Studio Code. Let's make it bigger. Okay. Okay. Let me make this over here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so first thing what we'll be doing is we will be going here and going to app.js. By the way, let's run our project first. So we can just say yarn dev. That will basically run our project in development environment and launch it in port 3000. So we can say localhost port 3000. It was already 3000, so that's fine. So it's right now on port 3000. Very beautiful counter. You can just keep on clicking it and your life will be so much peaceful. Keep on clicking it. See, that's how easy it is. So we'll be removing this. Okay, let's do that. First of all, what we'll do is we'll just go and remove this whole header thing up. So at last, we don't need you. It one something, right? And we'll be removing this as well. We'll be removing this as well. A lot of things. Let's import React, by the way. Yeah, we'll be removing all of this. We don't even need this app.css, right? Okay, Next thing what we need is we need to import the CSS file of and design here. How can we do that? Go to here like app.js, just say import, I don't know, andy slash dish slash, oh that's not the folder, lib slash, no. Okay, we'll have to find the exact address. Let's go to and design official website and let's see how can we do that. So go to documentation, go to getting started, and if you scroll down below, okay, this is the file andy dist and andy.css. Copy that out, paste that in your file, and you're good to go. To give you a proof that it's working, it will, okay, you can see the font has been changed a bit. So that's the font which design uses. So it has been, we are successfully in, I mean, we have added design to our project. So now the one thing, okay, let me make it a little bit bigger. I hope so now it is visible more properly. Okay, let me make myself as well like some what bigger. Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal, right? So first thing we'll be learning about layout. Now layout is like where do you want to place your component. So I'll just give you a reference by going to the layout section in the documentation, because they have like some beautiful pictures which could make my work very easier in explaining how layout works. So you can see, you know, there are like these examples. So if you just see, you can arrange your content in this way. This is the first way, which is header on the top, content in the like in the main section in the bottom, and then footer in the middle. That's one way. Another way could be you could actually have like a sidebar over here, then header over here, component. Similarly, you can have the sidebar in the like right side instead of left side. You can have the sidebar like this covering this full area instead of like interrupted by that header. So this is like covering the full area. Whatever the thing is, this is how it's done, right? That's how it's done. So the and design has a very good support for this. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll import from and design. We'll be importing layout, right? Once we import layout, we have a lot of things inside layout. So uh, right, so by the way, just remember that this is called header, this is called content, this is called footer, this is called cider. So the names are important. The reason is that's the name of the component, right? So we need a header, we need a footer, we need a cider, we need, what else do we need a content, right? So these are the sections which I was talking about. This is header, content, footer, all the things which you see over here. That's what I'm being like, that's what I'm destructuring from layout, right? Okay, let's see how does it work. First of all, I would remove this app class from here, right? Okay, let's create a layout first. Let's see what impact does that have. So this will not show anything as per like as I could believe, like nothing. See, that's important, that's empty, right? uh what is the next thing we have to do? The next thing what we have to do is go to layouts, right? So let's place the header over here, right? Header something, I don't know. Then let's place a content, content, and we can say content is also something. Okay, so you can see this is like the header, this is the content, and let's place a footer as well. So if we put a footer as well, we'll have this footer. Let's call it footer, let's call it content, and this is as a header, right? I just want to show you the placement, how it's actually done, right? You can see header is on the top, content is in the middle, and footer is in the bottom. And you'll see why the hell this looks so terrible, like this, why is this like squished, right? You can definitely make them like, you can just say go here, you can say not class, man, we want style, right? Height to be 100 vertical height. That will basically make it like the full thing, right? So you now see the footer, you now see the content, and you now as well see the header, right? Now you might think why the hell this is looking like so bad, because it is bad. I mean, we have to add a lot of other things as well over here. Okay, that's how content works. By the way, if you're thinking about the sidebar, okay, I just want to give you a trick, right? If anything is at a single level, right? If anything is at a single level, you'll have to put it inside layout. So if like let's say you want the content and slider to be in a single level, right, you need to put that in a different layout component. So right, uh, I'll just go through this again, you know, I'll just try to explain it again how this works. So if I just now place a content over here, and if I just say a slider over here, right, and let's do this, and if I just call slider, and let's format this first, okay. Why is this not formatting? Come on, just format. Yeah, configure. I want to use prettier. Yeah, that's how it is. So if I now just show you the output, you can see the slider is over here, right? The sidebar, the top header, the content section, and the footer is here, right? Now footer, okay, you're not able to see footer due to me. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, I have to just you can see the footer, right? That's the footer there, right? Okay, let me place myself back there. Okay, so that's how it is. Like that's how you arrange layouts. Now let's go and build things inside the layout, right? In the side, by the way, there are a lot of other things you can okay, I was explaining this, right? You can think of this layout inside this as a vertical thing, right? So it comes down, 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 and then if you place another, right, it it basically comes side by side, if that makes sense. If that was not clear, comment down below. I'll just explain you personally. One to one, we'll be having conversation on this. Okay. Okay. Let's move ahead. So we have cider, content, footer, header. Quite good. We are all set up. Let's first fix our very own header. So let's make something a logo. Let's look, okay. And this will be, I think, technologies. By the way, we can use topology. That would also be cool. But we haven't learned that yet. So we'll be learning that afterwards. Let's use something like this. Tech no technologies. I think technologies, and I can just call it style as color white because that's what it is. By the way, I just want to tell you, you can even set I think it's called theme mode. What's it's called? A theme. No, that's fine. Let it be, right? So that's how it is. And now actually you can make it bigger. So you can say the font size is like 34. Oh, that's too big. 23. Yeah, it's fine. See, that's how it is. Now let's say you want a menu over here, right? So you want a menu so that people can go to home and different places. How would you do that? That's also very, very easy. So what you can do is you can just say over here, go over here and say style, right? Uh, and you can say display, flex, and justify item, justify content, space between, right? Now this will do what is whatever we place after this will be at the end. So now we want to use a menu bar because we want to make a menu bar over here, right? Like you got the point, right? We want to do that. How can we do that? We want to import menu, right? So we have to import menu from here, and then we want a lot of like subparts of menu. So we'll just say we'll destructure menu over here. So there's something called menu item. So this is an object called item inside menu. So we want that. So we'll call it item. By the way, there is item group. We'll be learning about that in this video, but like in the cider section, we'll be making some menu in the cider section. For now, let's go over here. Okay. So let's make a menu over here, right? So menu, right? Menu, right? Then let's call it item, right? Something, right? And let's try to make multiple of these. Let's see what does it appear. You can see this is the menu and how it appears. This is not in horizontal mode right now. This is in vertical mode. So we have to change the mode to vertical. Okay, so how can we do that? We can simply go to menu and call it orientation. I think that's what it was. Direction, yeah, and let's call it right to left, left to right. No, we don't want that. I just forgot how to how to do that. Let's go and check. Let's go in the menu section. Menu section. Where is the menu section? By the way, you can even search that from here. right? And this is how we want it. But like, what you have to do is you have to actually go and say the mode. Okay, it's called mode. Like, what mode you want? We want this to be in horizontal mode, not in vertical mode. Let's see how does it look. Yeah, that looks fine, but the background color is terrible, right? So we'll have to think about that. Okay, how to set a background color? Like, how's that done? I think it's called mode, theme, something like that. Dark. Yeah, it's called theme, right? So you can define a theme, right? So we can say theme is dark over here, right? So yeah, see, that's how easy it is to make a menu bar. And let's actually like write something useful. So we can say home, right? Uh, and let's say contact us. And let's call it services. And let's think. Okay, I just want to tell you, like, let's say we have multiple services, and we want to show that as a drop down, right? I messed thing up. Why does that thing happen like that? Did we did anything wrong? Right? Okay. I believe this is the problem with the width, right? Okay. Let's move ahead. Let's move where we were. So let's call it like home, right? This is as contact us, and this as width or services. Something has definitely changed because this was not like this before, right? Okay, let's see what has changed. Right, this the menu was looking like this before. Then I went ahead and do the mode, which I just set to horizontal. That made it like this. Wait, why is that happening? I think we don't have enough width. Let's try that out. Let's give it some width. Uh, Maybe like 400. Yeah, see, that's how easy it is. Okay. Huh. Make it 300. Let's make it 400. Yeah, and we want to set the theme to be dark, right? So that is how our menu looks. Let's say we you also want to drop down with it, right? And let's change this something to like home, contact us, right? And then services. Okay, so it's home, contact us, services, and okay. Great. By the way, even you can set icons. Will not be going there. Right? So yeah. I just want to cover the sub menu part, right? So we can even create sub menu over here. So uh, I'll just import that out there quickly, and then we can say sub menu, right? And then we have something called menu group. So we can even import that. So we can say menu. Wait, it is sub menu dot menu group, something like that. Okay, we have a sub menu and then item group inside which we can just place everything. Okay, it's called item group. Okay, so inside submenu we have a various options. So we can just provide a title. We can just say services, which we wanted, right? Right. And then we can say item group, right? And then I think it's again item, right? uh, Wait, come on. So now what we can do is we can just you can define various things inside the services. So let's say we have a service of software, right? We have a service of hardware, right? Okay. Now let's see how does that work. You can see like we have two options inside the services, right? So I hope so that's visible. Is it visible? I mean, do I have to make that bigger, smaller? I don't know. That's looking fine, I believe. Okay, so we have home, contact us, services. Services has two drop down, and we also have a footer. Let's go to sidebar and let's put some menu over there as well. So this will be okay, billing and all of those things. So it was quite similar. Just we have to just set this mode instead of what horizontal to vertical, right? Okay. I believe we can just increase the font size over here. We'll do that later. Let's copy the same menu over there in the cider section. Let's copy the same menu and let's make it light. I don't want it to be dark, right? And this width is no more required, right? And what else? We could have icons there. That would have been cool. Okay, this dark is even required there as well. So okay, okay, and this will be vertical. Yeah, you can see this how it looks in the vertical section. So you can just go and select things, and yeah, that's how it works. Menu. I just want to go through the menu again, once again, so that you actually understand how it is working. So menu has item, which is menu item, right? So these are like the menu components, individual menu components which you see. And let's say you want to make a drop down. So that's a menu group, right? So you have several menu options in a single option, right? So you do that through this particular thing, which is sub menu component. You provide title, you can even provide key, you can even provide icons to this, right? So you can do that, all sorts of things. And then you have another item group, which is like a group of several things, so you can just place them. By the way, this is nestable, so you can even like place another sub menu inside this, so this will be like hierarchical, so that's not an issue at all over here. Yeah, that was like all about menu, right? Let's go and make things over here, like okay, over here let's think of like this as a dashboard, right? Let's remove footer. By the way, I don't think so we need a footer, so let's remove that from here. We do not need a footer right now, right? I just want to show you that you can definitely do that, but we do not need it right now. That's what at least I believe. So now let me actually think, what else can we do? Okay, let's move ahead and let's show some statistics and some graphs over here. Let's see how can we do that. So there's a component called statistics, right? So you can show like very beautiful statistics and all these moving things, right? And how can you use them, right? Okay, let's learn about grid first before going any further, because learning about grid is necessary if you want to place anything in the correct place in and design. So now grid basically has two parts. First is called column and other one is called rows, right? So and like if you have used Bootstrap, you already know that the number of columns which is divided in Bootstrap is 12, but here in and design just 24. If you are not understanding what I'm talking about, you will once I will show you the example. So let's say if I just have a row which I import, I hope so it's imported. Yeah, it's imported. Then we can have a call inside this, which is a column, right? If you don't write anything, right? So that will be having a equal division. Then this will have 100% division. So like let's say box one, and then we have another call, and let's call it box two, right? So if you do something like this, what will happen is basically this will have box one, box two. There's no division. Okay, got it. There's no division. But I was wrong. This doesn't take full width. There's like it doesn't care if you do that, right? But there's now here's the catch. If you just give it span, let's say I want to give this 10 like out of 24, and I want to give this like 14 out of 24, you'll see that this has expanded. Now this has 10 parts and this has 14 parts, right? Now this even like more fun to us. You can even provide less. Let's say what if you provide 5 and 5, right? So all 14 part will be left empty. So if I'll just save that, you can see like this is 5, this is 5, and all 14 part is left empty. right? That's how the row works. By the way, there are other ways as well. You can specify how much should a particular component like take space. So you can even you can even use something called flex, right? And you can say this should be like 4, and flex this should be like 9. So it's like 9 plus 4 is 13. So it will basically divide the whole thing into 13 parts, and out of which 4 part will be going to this and 9 part will be going to this. I'll just show you that. I'll just save this and you'll see that. See, that's how it is, right? So you can use span, you can use flex. It's up to you. What do you want to use? It's you're completely free, right? Okay, so okay. We'll be using this thing to show our statistics, right? So if you see, okay, let's actually do this. There's something called statistics. You can provide a title to this, value to this, precision to this. Okay. We want two statistics. Let's try with two. Like I mean, for now, let's call it like span 12, 12, uh, span. Okay, and let's give statistics over here. What was it? Title? Yes, it is. It was. Let's call it total current user, right? And then we can show something like what can we show over here? Total current user, and we can even provide a value. So we can say this is like the total current user. Then we can say precision. Precision. We can say 2. I think we'll also have an option for, you can see that's how it looks, but that is looking terrible. There's a very genuine reason for that. Okay, this will be 12 by the way. Yeah. Uh, do we have size? No, we don't. Okay. I think we should have padding in the whole content section. So let's provide some padding so that it looks a little better than before. So let's like 24 or like 35. Yeah, that looks better. Now, what if we want to make these things bigger? Like, we can definitely do this, but that's not the way, right? Okay, so that's the statistics, and there should be some way to do that. So we have active user, that's cool. Then we have statistics title. Do we have any other property in the statistics? Let's see. There's a loading as well, so you can even show a loading. You can see that's still loading, right? Uh, yeah, that's how it is. You can just show these things. Let's see how does like that works. uh Prefix. Okay, we can have a prefix, postfix, whatever. Let's try to put some icon over there, right? So to use the icons, the thing is you'll have to like use this, you'll have to install this, right? So let's install this. I mean, come on, copy this thing up, copy. Let's open a new tab. Let's say yarn add this thing. Now this will add and design icon library so that we can use it in our project. So that will also be something to learn. So how can you use that? So you can say simply like import something from and design icons, and here what you can do is you can pass whatever you need. So I can just pass like a home icon, home, let's say outlined, right? And then I can say over here, or let's say user, something like user outline, right? And then I can just go uh, over here, and I can say prefix. I mean, before the data, just show this. So it's like home outline, and that's all. That's how you actually, come on. Okay, you can see that's how you show an icon before this data, right? Even you can provide buttons over there, so that's pretty simple. That's you can simply go here, say button, right? And then you can pass a, and design button has a has a type, so you can pass a type to like the primary. Yeah, you can then set like refresh, something like that, and you can do that, by the way. Okay, so yeah, that's how you place data. Let's place one more and then we'll be moving ahead. Then we'll be trying to show some graph as well. Okay, so first of all what we'll do is we'll just say one more data, one more statistics. Wow. Okay, and then what we can do is we can just provide a title. We can say what should be this data. This should be like total requests of what we don't know, but some total request, and the value is something like this, right? That's the total request, and the precision should be like again 2, and we can even show some prefix. So not that, man. Prefix, come on, prefix. Yeah. No? Oh, we have provided 2 to prefix. That should have been precision, but that's okay. We can use something called okay, this request, right? Traffic. We have like home icon is there, user icon is there. What icon should we use? Traffic. Uh, Up outline. Okay, let's call it up outline. That will uh yeah, that's how it is. The up outline, that shows an up icon. I don't know why have I placed up outline, but that is how it is, right? And yeah, by the way, it would be great if we can show like 4 of them, right? So let's copy this thing, these two, and let's show the same like 4 times. But now this will not be this. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So 6, 6, 6, and 6. That will basically be like these many data. Okay. Moving ahead. By the way, that button is looking ugly. So let's remove those buttons. We don't need those buttons, right? Okay, I've removed those buttons. Now the next thing what we need is we need a sort of like some graphs, right? So without graphs, dashboards are like of no use, right? So let's call it graphs. Do we have charts or something like that? I don't know. This is using some chart, I'm sure. Okay, by the way, I just want to tell you like this also has a notification feature. So let's say if I just say on click, right? So on mouse enter, mouse leave, we don't care about that. uh, let's put a button over here. Let's say uh, let's put like refresh, right? And let's call it type is something like gross default dashed. Let's call it a dashed button, right? And we can even give an icon over there. So we can just give like a refresh. Let's call it outline. I don't know. Should this be aim? See, I'm very terrible at putting icons, but I'm just trying. Whatever will come 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll just put that. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what we like. It doesn't denote, but still, like let it be. Let's give some style, and let's say margin top we want like 50, right? That's like that. And on click, I just want to show you like how notifications work in InDesign. So on click, right? And it's quite easy. Like just you have to say notification, right? Dot let's say success, right? So you want a success notification. So you can just set a message when you can say that's cool. You can say by the way anything, right? So if I just click this, you can see like that's how the notifications are like shows up, and that looks sick. That's how it is, right? Yeah, next thing after this, after like this notification thing, by the way, you can just select like success, failure, any sort of notification like through like this particular thing. Like you have to call that particular function for that. Okay. What's next? The next thing is let's see, what can we put? We want some sort of graph. We want some sort of graph at any cost. I think InDesign doesn't have a graph option. it has a skeleton option. We may go for that. Okay, let's add a form before. Oh, no, there should be graph. Uh, Carousel table, spinner, anchor, back to top. There's a lot of components, but we do not have graph. Okay, let the graph be like we'll because we'll have to use another library and this will mislead this tutorial, so we'll not be using graph over here. Let's use a form over here so that we can see the uses of input things over here, right? Let's do that. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the content and we'll say form, right? Okay. So how does the form work in Anti? So if you just go over here and if you just go to the component section, right, you will see the form thing. Data entry, you can see autocomplete, form. Here's the form, right? So that's how the form works, by the way, right? You can have like form layout thing. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let's put this whole form over here. So you need to import all these different things from and design. So let's quickly do that. By the way, we already have buttons, so we don't care about that. And now we just need this particular thing, which is this whole form thing, right? And to support this, we also need the states. Let's quickly use the state. Don't worry, I'll just go through the code definitely, and I'll just explain. What size change? Come on, is this one? This type. Okay, so this. Wait, this is not. This doesn't need this. I mean, we are not using TypeScript. We do not care about form change. We just care about the design, so that doesn't matter to us. The next thing is we want a form, right? Then okay. Okay, the form, how does the form work? I just want to give you a rough idea. So first of all, what you do is you define a form, right? And then you define a form item, which is one element in the form, right? And then you can basically place elements inside that. Similarly, you define another form item, you define a label for that, and you can put another element, another element. Similarly, you can just keep on going, right? I'll just try to design a form like from scratch. That's too much, too many components. Let's remove them. We'll be importing them eventually as soon as we need them, like, okay. So let's go right now above our content, right? And let's say that we need a form, right, from of course and design. Can we have a form? Come on, give me a form. Okay, finally I have a form. Then I can have a form item, right? Then I can have a form item. I can have a label over here, right, as well. So I can just say a label, which will be like, let's say for now it will be name, right? And then you can have an input over here, which is an input like normal input. We can just place a placeholder. We can say name over here, right? If you do that, you will have like something like this. Yeah. By the way, we don't want this to be this like looking this bad, so we'll definitely do something about it, right? First of all, there should be some okay margin top, and there should be the margin bottom as well. I believe the same, like the 50 pixels. Okay. Next thing what we want is we have the name. Now we want the, I think there's a form row and form column as well. So I'll just let me check. Form dot row. No, yeah, no, there's nothing called form row as per now. So let's try to copy that out and paste this away, and let's call it like this will be like the first name. Yeah, and let's call it like first name, right? And then this will be the last name, right? How does it look? This appears in two different lines. What if we want to make this like in the same flow? How can we do that? It's appearing in the same line. Do we have anything which is coming in the same flow? Come on, show me something, right? Which comes in this. Okay, we can definitely use the row and column over here. So what we can do is we can just say row, right? And we can just say call span 12, which is half area. I mean half of the total. And then we can just move this thing over here. And then similarly we can use call, right, span 12, and then we can pass this whole thing over here. Save this, and that should pretty much give us what we want. Yeah, and then we can even add spacer between them. So as because this doesn't have a spacer, spacer does it exactly what we are thinking about, right? Space, right? And this will give some space, some amount of space between every element inside every, like, for every column, basically. Oh, that's not what we want. Wait. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with this. We forget this is row, right? Okay. Do we have something spacing sort of thing? No? Okay. There's something called offset. So we just want to set some offset for the second one. So what we can do is we can just go this one and we can say offset of, we want 2, and we can reduce this to 10. See, now that looks good. By the way, the other one looks smaller. What should we do? I don't know. Let's set offset to 1. I think that will look better. And let's put it like 11. Yeah, that's looking cool. So we have first name, last name, and you can place all of those, all sorts of things over here, like, right? So I'll just show you a few examples of what can we actually do. We can have like a form dot item, right? Um, we can have something like an input. I'll just show you some cool things, right? So if you just set type to date, right, right, right. It like the date option is really cool for this. So I'll just show you like this appears something like this. You can just specify. By the way, you can even specify the format as well. First of all, let me give a label for this. Without label, it's looking like select a date, right? And uh, we want a format maybe. Do you have anything? Date type, you can just set it to something. Okay, let's leave it for now. Let's move ahead, right? So that's how you give a date. By the way, there's also an option to give like a file. So you can just say this instead of date everywhere. Let's replace that with file, right? If you do that, now you have a file selector, right? So you can basically do this and select files and all and do all sorts of things. That's how you build a form, right? Yeah, that's how you build a form in and design. Now let's try to place one. Let's try to place one like a button at the end. So we can say flex. I mean, what should we do? Let's call it like class, now style, display flex, right? Um, justify content, And yeah, that's what we want. Now what we want a divider over here, right? And yeah, that's how a divider looks. Divider is like just a simple like a line, right? We can even put a divider over here and before the form, right? So I'll just show you what dividers can do actually, right? So you can even specify some text inside the divider which will appear in the middle. So add a new user, something like that, right? So if you do that, you'll have like add a new user, something like that, and then like lines. You can even place that in the left side or right side. I think that's called orientation. So you can just place left or right, however you wish. So that's an add a user. That's your form, and now you can have a submission, right? But you cannot have a submission until you have a button. So let's place this one over, like not here, and let's place this over here. Yeah. Okay, so inside this, what we have created a div, let's place a button. So type primary, right? And then we can say what we can say. We can say submit, right? But there you have the submit button. That's how you design a form in and design, right? Uh, okay. By the way, there are a lot of other things as well. So how can I show them to you? Let's actually keep on going, right? So those that this is how form works. By the way, there's like even a like a radio button option, switch button option, and breadcrumb, date picker is like so cool. I'll just show you. You can just create something like this with like few lines of code, like selecting a range. Then you have radio button, slider is also cool. Like you can do this, you can do like a range selection, all sorts of things, all sorts of cool things, right? Then you have something called switch, which is like normal switch. Then you have a date picker, which can like which we have already discussed most of the things. Then we have an avatar, where by the way you can just put an avatar for this, like with using this. Then you have a carousel. I don't like the this carousel. I don't know the reason, but I don't like it. I think you can find a better one online. Collapse is cool. I mean, this is really cool. By the way, whatever new component which you want to build, you can go to the documentation, view the code, and I'm sure like now you know the building block which is grid and layout, so you'll be able to like use it, right? So list, like popover is also cool. Like you can just click and you can have a popover like that. That was it for the ant design. Another like the second video in the ant design series. Previous one was like really quick and was not very much clear, so that's the second series. And I hope so you liked it. If you like it, don't forget to like the video and comment something below. And I'm hungry, by the way. I'm going to have my food. Bye, have a great day.